Okay, we're ready for math today being Thursday, April 23rd. Today in math, you need your speed drill for lesson 139, and you need pages 277 through pages 278 out of your math book. New concept today, but not too bad. It's just putting a couple of different pieces we've learned together and adding in just an extra step or two. Not anything too bad. So let's look at your speed drill 139 first. 139 right there. You have 2 minutes. It looks like a 12 table. You may begin. About 30 seconds. All right. If you'll put that to the side, time is up. We're going to go ahead and start in our new concept today. So if you'll go ahead and look at your paper for me. Let's make sure I turn this off, excuse me. We're going to talk about making change today. This is something that we've talked about in class before. So this is not anything that's brand new to you. We've talked about as a business owner, you know, if you come to my business and you buy something that costs $3.29 and you give me a $5 bill, obviously $5 is more than $3.29. I don't just put your $5 in my drawer and close my cash register and say, thank you, have a great day. Because that's money that's not mine. I owe that money back to you. So we're going to talk about today about making change. And the second part of that is that I want to be sure that when the little amount comes back that I owe you back, that I give it to you correctly. Because if I give people more change than what they need, then I'm going to have a problem over a span of time in my business. So today we're going to talk about making change. So let's look at your box at the top. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Let's look at the box. To find the change, subtract the cost from how much money was given. Okay. Then under that it says write the number of bills and coins to make the amount using the fewest pieces of money. If you look at your example there, you can see that they gave $5, the cost was $3.29. The change is $1.71. We're going to go through that more in just a second. But you don't want to give someone 71 pennies back. So the two really main concepts that we're pulling together today is this. First of all, when you look at my problem and we're subtracting, you see that we're borrowing with zeros. That's right. And the second piece here is, and I have my numbers written here because I didn't have pieces of money, but obviously 10 is a 10, $5 bills are 5s, and $1 bills are 1s. But your quarters, you're going to have to remember how much value those were. Quarters are 25 cents, dimes are 10 cents, nickels are 5, we count by 5s, pennies are 1s, we count by 1 cent. Now, we've talked about in class that when you get, 50 cents or more, you're really wanting to take big leaps. You don't want to give someone, a handful of change. So 25s, 50, 75, 100, those are big leaps. Pennies are baby leaps. They're little steps. So let's look, first of all, at our example problem. And we cannot do this subtraction here. We go next door, no one's home. We go next door, the 5 can become a 4. We take one place, we add 10 here, 0 plus 10 equals 10. Now we can work. Take one place, the 10 becomes a 9. This 0 becomes a 10. Don't forget to borrow here. Don't leave that a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 2 equals 7. 4 minus 3 equals 1. So I owe you back $1.71. Now, if you look at your example, obviously I don't want to give you a $10 bill or $5 bill. That's way too much. I'm going to lose my company if I continue to do that. So I want to start with my paper money, which will be these here, this side of the decimal, $1 bill. But now I owe you coins back. So now let's make our coins. 71 cents. That's a big amount, right? So, 25 cents, 50. Let's start using those quarters. So let's look. 25 is 1 quarter, 50 is 2, 75 is 3. 75 cents is a drink now, but 75 here is too much. So let's back up. Let's use 2 quarters. And if you want to come and write 50 cents right there, that's fine. Well, I still have to make 71. I'm not there yet. Let's see, 50, let's go to dimes. Those are 10 cents a piece. 50, 60, 70. Okay, stop right there. Because if you add another dime, that's going to be 80. That's too much. So let's back up to 2 dimes, which will be 20 cents. 50 plus 20 equals 70. And I owe 1 more cent, which would be 1 penny. And I have made my 71 cents. So this is this concept for today. Using the least amount, the fewest pieces of money that we can. All right? So let's look. You can go ahead and start your borrow. Hold on just a second. Let me show you something with 1A. So let me erase super quick here. So I don't want something to trick your eye. I want to show you one extra step in 1A. So you gave $10 at the store. You had $10 to go spend. You spent $6.30. How much change would you get back? If you want to pretend like there are no decimal points and dollar signs here for your subtraction, that's fine. Just you can temporarily ignore those if it helps you in your subtraction. Okay, so we go here, 0 minus 0. We can do that. Thank goodness, that's 0. Now, 0 minus 3. Nope, can't do that. No one's home in this, if we're ignoring the decimal, the hundreds place, so we have to go to the thousands place. Now, I am not saying that's $10,000. That is $10, but for borrowing's sake, we're just speaking in place value. Okay, so there's a difference there. So let's make the 1 a 0 We took one place. We're going to add 10 to make that, to 0 to make a 10. Now we can roll. Let's make the 10 a 9. This 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 3 equals 7. 9 minus 6 equals 3. 0 minus 0 is 0. Now we can go in and put our decimal in dollar. 2 places after the decimal, 70 cents, and then our paper money is $3, $3.70. And at this point, if you wanted to be sure that you subtracted correctly, remember, you could take your difference and add it to your subtrahend here, and you could make sure that that equaled $10. That's a good check there. So now let's give back our change. Let's go into our pretend money drawer here. I need $3, so I need, right, 3 $1 bills, correct. 70 cents. Well, let's look at the 25s. 1, 2, 3. 3 is too many, so I need 2. 2 quarters. That's 50 cents. I need to get to 70 cents. 50, 60, 70. How many dimes do I need? 2. And that would be 20 cents. So $3.70. Okay? All right, so quickly let's do 1B together. One B. You had $15. You gave your cost was $11.76. All right, let's go. Can't say 0 minus 6. No one's home next door. Aha, someone's home here in this place where the 5 is. If we're pretending the decimal isn't there, that's the hundreds place. But again, that's $15. So please don't confuse what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you for place value. The 5 becomes a 4. The 0 becomes a 10. Now we can work. Someone's there. We go next door. The 10 becomes a 9. The 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 6 equals 4. 9 minus 2, I gave you the answer. 9 minus 7 equals 2. 4 minus 1 equals 3. 1 minus 1 equals 0. So you should have change of $3.24. And if you wanted to check, you could add these two amounts and it should equal to $15. All right, so quickly, let's go over the change. How do we pull this out of our cash drawer? I need $3, so I need what? 3 $1 bills, right? We don't want to give a 5, that's too much. 24 cents. 1 quarter is too much. I got to skip the quarters. Dimes. 10, 20, 30. Oh, too much. Back up. How many dimes do I need? 2. That's 20 cents. Then I need 4 more cents. Obviously, a nickel is too much because that's 5. So how many pennies would I need? 4. And that would be 4 cents. So 24 cents. Okay? All right. You will do number 2 on your own. Max bought a model rocket kit for $13.51 and a small jar of silver paint for $3. Max gave the clerk $20. How much change will Max get back? This is a 2-step problem. First of all, you have to add up how much he spent in the rocket kit and the paint. That's your first step. Then your second step is to find out how much change he would get back. So you take the $20 that he gives the clerk, you subtract the total of what he spent, and then you'll give him the change there out of your pretend cash drawer. If you flip over to the back, page 278, number 3, solve the story problem. Grayson saved $36.24. Jacob saved 1/3 as much as Grayson. How much do both boys have? Another 2-step problem. You have Grayson's amount, but you don't have Jacob's amount. So you're going to have to set this up 1/3 of $36.24. So you're going to take the $36.24 and divide it by 3. Then once you get that amount, you can add them together. Number 4, divide and check. It does have a remainder. Number 5, add or subtract. The planet Saturn does not have a solid surface. Sometimes it is called a gas giant. A little information there for you. Number 6, reduce to the lowest terms. Reduce means to divide, so please be sure you're dividing. And then number 7, solve these fraction problems. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting, do not add or subtract the denominator, only the numerator. And your brain booster. Okay? If you have any questions, you can please let me know. Just our new concept today, making change. Like I said, just different components pulling in to work this concept. So if you need any help, need any assistance, just have someone let me know. Okay? So we'll move on to language next.